Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining this morning. Welcome to our May Cards and Coffee Online. And I'm going to take a few moments this morning before we get started to just let you know about something new that Stampin' Up! Is offering, kind of in response to all the challenges with COVID-19. We are Stampin' Up! Is offering a special download that you can download onto your computer and print out. So this is something that they're doing as a download because if you, we had to wait for them to come up with a stamp set or something, it would take much longer. So they have come up with this gorgeous download of 15 pages of sentiments that are perfect to put on cards for sending in the circumstances we're in right now. I'll show you some of the samples I made. The download is $12, and you go to covid19.stampinup.com and you can download it right onto your personal computer, and then you can copy it off as many times as you want, make as many of the copies as you like. And they also include a couple of pages at the beginning to tell you what colors they're using and what dyes are great for cutting out them. So here, I'll show you some that I made. This one says sending joy and sunshine, not germs. This is, hi Bev, hi Diane, welcome everyone. What a crew, Mary, Linda, hi Jean. This one I use the starburst technique, but this is the little sentiment I use, sending joy and sunshine, not germs. I thought that was so cute. This might be my all-time favorite. When I looked at this sentiment, I changed out of my night pajamas into my day pajamas to send you this card. I cracked up because that is really what I'm doing. And so I had to make a pajama card, and this is super easy. I just took a piece of the balmy blue and used my buffalo check, and then cut down to the center and put back my collars here. So that was so easy to make. Here's a very, very neutral kind of card. I just used some of the paper from the Brights. You are essential to me. And then, of course, the 6 feet apart, but still in my heart. Good morning, Catherine. I love this one. We use some of my Valentine dies, also some from the Magnolia. And then this one, I use the center, the flower center from the Poppies dies to make my little germs. And this one was very popular. I had a lot of people that asked me to make this one for them, but so easy to make. And then I used a kind of a spattering technique using my blends, where you kind of stick the brush tip of the blend inside the cap and flick it, and then you can make some little dots. That looks very germy, that card. And then I put little bubbles on there too, because I thought that's where germs like to live. So those are just a couple of those, and I just wanted to let you know how to access this if you'd be interested. And also, we learned from Sarah that she is going to be doing an online stamping party on May 21st, where she's going to be making cards using this download for their day of service. Since we can't do anything and going out into our community, that's what we've decided to do for our day of service. We're going to make cards and send them to those essential workers. So, alrighty, let's go ahead and get started on our cards. All right, here is our first one. We're going to be using, on my end, I'm going to be going first, and then Dory's going to be second. We're going to be using the stamp set Beautiful Friendship. Okay, and this is kind of a hidden gem. This set is in the annual catalog, which we don't look at very often anymore once we get into the smaller catalogs. But this is kind of hidden in that it's on page 123 in the annual catalog. And I'm excited to say that it is going to be in the new catalog as well. It's a gorgeous set. And it has what they call distinctive, it's a distinctive stamp, which means even though you're stamping it once, it gives it some nice watercolor type shading that looks like you're having to do it, you know, more than one time. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and make this card first. And let me go ahead and put that aside. And if you notice here, my background on my card here, I used a background stamp. And I don't know if many of you know about the background stamp. Ooh. Is it still working? There we go. Everybody able to see me okay? I'm just wondering. All right, here we go. I want to show you some stamps that you might not know about. These are in the back of the catalog after all the other stamps, okay? And they are background stamps. And today we're going to be using the Birch stamp. And they're great to have because you can really kind of liven up your card. And the one I used is called the Birch stamp. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to use the Birch stamp to begin my card. So I'm going to use a regular size piece of Petal Pink. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my bone folder. And now I'm going to grab my Birch background stamp. Now, background stamp is very large. Okay, and it's a red rubber stamp, and it's designed to put on a very large acrylic block. But I've kind of come up with my own little trick that I don't really even have to take it out of the case. So let me go ahead and show you how that works. Okay, I'm going to leave it in the case, and I'm going to grab my Petal Pink ink. All right, I'm going to open it up, and I'm just going to take the ink pad and just tap it all over my background stamp. Then I'm going to take my card base, and this is going to be the front of my card. So I'm going to lay it flat down very carefully onto the background stamp and just rub around the edges. And then I just kind of let my hands go and it'll pop up a little bit and you can grab it and turn it over. And there is my background. Isn't that cool how that works? I just love that. All right. Now the background Birch is also going to continue to be available, but I think that really adds a lot of interest to the card. All right, so let's put him aside for now and let's grab our other pieces. Okay, I have my inside piece and I have my front piece. I need to do some stamping and my little flag. Now, believe it be, people, I am actually using, I'm actually using Very Vanilla today. Okay, I know we hardly ever pull that out, but today's the day. So we're going to be using Very Vanilla instead of the Whisper White. I'm going to bring back in my Petal Pink, and let me grab my stamps here. Okay, I'm also, since we are working with a photopolymer stamp, I'm going to bring in my Pierce Mat that gives it a little bit of cushioning. Okay, so I'm going to take my large roses stamp right here. And I'm going to stamp it in the middle. There we go. All right. Then we are going to use some smaller stamps to make our little insides of our flowers. And for that, I'm going to bring in my Calypso Coral. All right, so for the smaller one, whoops, that's not good. Let's get him back on there. He's jumping off on me. Okay, I'm gonna ink him up. All right, there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take this one here. There. All right, so there's my flowers. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my leaves on. Now the leaves, I used the just little leaf pear image, okay? And I'm going to use my old olive. And I just kind of randomly stamped some of the leaves. This is a great set because you can make amazing cards without lots of layers, without dies. It's just one of those standalone sets that really, really has a great, great look to it. All right, so there's my front. All right, now I'm going to bring in my let me make sure I'm on that. Let me see. Just checking something, gals. I'll be right there. All right, hoping I'm trying to improve the, there we go. Okay, hopefully that, there. Okay, I tried to improve it. Hope it helped a little bit with the broadcast. All right, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to work on the inside of the card. I'm going to just put the little flowers at the corner there. So we're going to bring back our big rose. Again, working on the pierce mat just so we will have a better stamped image. We're going to put that right on the end there. There he is. And I'm going to go ahead and move him over here. Bring back my Calypso Coral because it's a nice darker color that's still kind of in the same family. One in the middle of there. Okay, there we go. All right. Then we're going to finish off the inside with a few little leaves. So I'm kind of doing the same exact thing that I did on the front on the inside. You can also put a sentiment if you like. Up to you. Good morning, Karen. Okay. Now let's go ahead. The last thing we need to do, I'm going to pull this away. I'm going to go ahead and do my sentiment, and then we'll be done all our stamping for this card. But it's just so great that this card can make such a gorgeous impression without really using a lot of products. You're really just using your stamp set for this one. Now I'm looking for my black, not black. Let's go with the Old Olive, sorry. And I'm going to go ahead and put my Old Olive on the strip. And that's a little crookedy. Let's try the other side. It's hard to get my head in here. You don't want to see the back of my head on the camera. Oh, all right, we'll take this one. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and build our card now. All right, here's our card front. We're going to go ahead and put a little Tombow on the back of my card, if I can get it to be open. Come on, Tombow. There we go. It's early for Tombow today too, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this one on the inside. And I really do love the berry vanilla. It makes it a little more muted. Then I'm going to take a piece of Old Olive that's just a 1/4 inch larger on both sides than my flower panel. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue that down. All right, now let's get out our dimensionals. And we're going to go ahead and put our dimensionals on the back of our flower panel. And then get those backings off. And we're going to put him right up on there. And now let's bring in our scissors and we're going to go ahead and cut the banner on this end here. I'm going to shorten it a bit first. And then I'm going to cut in. Now 2 more dimensionals and we'll be good to go. Except for our embellishments, because you know if Dory's watching and I don't use embellishments, I might get in trouble. So I'm going to definitely do that. So there is my sentiment along the bottom. I just love how the birch background really adds to that very beautiful look. All right, let's bring in the embellishments. Don't want to get in trouble. Okay, we're going to use some pretty little pearls for this one. Let me move those over there. Okay, and what I usually do when I add embellishments like this, I usually think of odd numbered, okay? And I usually go with 3, although it really depends how much area I'm trying to cover. And then I try to kind of make a triangle with them, okay? And what I also think about is you don't want them to be exactly at the same place. Like this one goes across here, and they don't ever really overlap each other. So that gives it a good kind of balanced look. So there is my first card. How's that look? Yep, pretty easy, very quick, and very lovely. So that is our first card with the beautiful friendship. All right, let me put some of these things away. And we're gonna grab our second card, which is another pretty one, but we're going to really move to a different color scheme here. This one, I used the same stamp set, and we're going to make that beautiful colored panel there. And then we're going to use a embossing folder, sorry. And this embossing folder is from the Parisian, okay, the Parisian Flourish 3D embossing folder from the Parisian suite. And I love this. I just think it's gorgeous, and it really, really gives your card a very, very beautiful look. I love that. The color I used here is one of the new ones, Seaside Spray. And then I pulled in a bunch of the other subtles as well. Let's pull them out of here. I've got a bunch. So here's the Seaside Spray. Okay, we're using that color. And we're going to use Purple Posy. And we're going to use the Blushing Bride and the Soft Seafoam, sorry. So I'm trying to keep it very, very subtle. So I pulled out just a bunch of the subtle colors, and that's kind of the way you can make your palette. You go in and look at the different families and pull from those. All right, and this Birthdays Are the Best Days is from this set as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I've already done my embossing. Isn't that pretty? It's going to give such nice detail to the cards. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Remember I said we are using the Seaside Spray. Okay, we're going to fold it over, just a regular traditional size card. Did it with my bone folder. Then I'm just going to set that aside for now. All right, so let's go ahead and work on this panel. This is the panel that we're going to be making using all the different colors. So let's go ahead. I want to make sure I get these stamps cleaned off very well before I use them, but this is the order I use them in. I first started with the Seaside Spray and the Rose. Okay, I'm going to make sure that's cleaned off. All right, and then what I did, I inked up with the Seaside Spray, and I put one here, kind of on a diagonal, and at the bottom. Okay, so that's our start with the Seaside Spray. We're done with that. And I get to pull in a lot of the other flowers that are in this set as well. And the next one is one of my faves. It's the Hydrangea. And for the Hydrangea, I pulled in the Purple Posy. Okay. You could also use the Highland Heather and just stamp off. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and go up here, and we're going to do this up at the top corner. Okay, and you can see by looking at it that it has that distinctive stamp where it's all different colors, and it gives it more of a watercolor effect. Your stamp's not going to be all the same color, so you don't want to try and worry about that. All right, there we go. There's those two done. Okay, let me clean that one off. Now we're going to come in with the Blushing Bride, and we're going to fill in with some of the cute little roses. Okay, so this is a smaller rose that comes in the set. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of fill in there. So we're going to put one of those up here, one of them here, so you see how your panel is starting to fill with color. So pretty. All right, the last thing we need to do to complete the panel is go ahead and bring in our leaves. Okay, looks like our connection's a little better. I hope you guys are doing okay out there. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my soft Seafoam. This is a subtle green, and I thought we should use a subtle green since we're using subtles for all the others. And I'm just going to kind of put little leaves, kind of checking out if there's any white spots, and just kind of filling in anywhere where it looks like a leaf could go. Like one there, maybe here. So there you go. See how beautiful that looks all filled in like that? So easy. And you could really pick any color scheme or color combination you like and play with it and see what you get. So there is my panel. Okay, lots of fun putting that together. Now we're going to bring in a piece of basic black, and I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive. I use the Tombow liquid adhesive, but you ladies can use whatever you like. I cut the panel so that the bottom, there is no, you can't see any black, and you'll see why I did that as we start building the card together. All right, so there's my panel all ready to go. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in my piece that I embossed. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to glue this panel to the embossed piece now. Okay, so you can decide which way you want it to go. I'm going to go this way. You could turn it the other way. It really doesn't matter. I just love, and as the ink dries and sets, it really kind of changes as well. So it really, really has a beautiful look to it. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and put my 1/2 inch strip of black here, glued again. along the bottom. I love using the black because it really contrasts with the rest of the card. Okay, now let's pull in a scrap of paper, and we're going to use one of the sentiments. Birthdays are the best days. This one has a lot of great sentiments. I love our beautiful friendship. So very happy to know you. Then the birthday one, and then there's a congratulations one. So this can cover lots and lots of different occasions. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Memento ink. And just stamp that onto my scrap. Then I'm going to come in with my 2-inch circle punch. And if you don't have this one, ladies, this is a must-have. It's perfect to have around for those sentiments. You just stamp and punch, and it's ready to place right on your card. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take some dimensionals on the back of my 1-inch circle. Okay, let's get those off. And then goes right there, kind of centering it on that part of the black. So pretty. All right, now let's bring in our card base, and we are going to hit the back of this embossed panel with lots of dimensionals. So now may be the time to refill your coffee, ladies. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get these off. You want to make sure you use a pretty good number here because the embossing folder makes the paper ridgy. Is that a word? And you want to make sure you have a lot of adhesive on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and place that right on the front of my card. And there we go. Now, let's talk about the inside of the card. Okay, all I did for the inside of the card was stamp one of the little roses and some leaves. So I pulled back out my Blushing Bride. And I put that right there at the bottom. And then I pulled back in my soft seafoam, sticking with those subtle colors. I like it just once. You can put it however you like, but I'm just going to put 2 leaves on that. So there's my inside panel. I'm going to go ahead and use my Tombow again. Put that panel right inside. Love this color combination. And then, in honor of Miss Dori Schneider, I'm going to add some bling to my card. All right, here we go. This time we're going to use some of the rhinestones, just plain silver rhinestones. And I think I just put 1 on this. Okay. Put right there. All right, or if you want more, you could do, whoops, it doesn't jump away. Put 1 here. Remember, I like to go in 3s because that's just the way I roll. Put him right there. So if you want lots of bling like Miss Dori Schneider, you might like the 3. And here is my other one. So now I look at both of these and I put the panel on the opposite way, and I think I like it anyway. So that's what's great about this stamp set. It just makes a gorgeous impression, and it really changes as it dries and sets. So there's number 2. So that's all you got from me this morning. Thank you so much for hanging in, and we're going to be turning the show over to Dori Schneider. So sorry if you had some issues with your connection, but I hope you were able to see me make the cards and put them together. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and stop on my channel and watch for Dory on your feed. Take care. Bye, Stampers.